So I just started watching this movie called Napoleon. I believe it came out in 2023 or 2024. Starring Joaquin Phoenix, right? And director Ridley Scott. Oh, Ridley Scott. He lies about, he brainwashes people through space. A lot of his movies are space-based, like, Aliens, Avatar, right? And then also Gladiator. What other movies showing the past, the fake past, right? Gladiator, the fake past. So all these movies, like all these stories to tell you, right? All these stories, it's explaining away these structures, right? They had to make up stories to explain away these structures. These structures are all over the world, right? And then tell you, oh, the French or the British went all over the world, or the Dutch, right? The Dutch went all over the world, built these fortresses, and then this left, right? That's what they tell you. And mind you, these have wooden boat technology, horse and buggy technology, but yet they built these magnificent structures with pinpoint accuracy, right? Look at these walls. Pinpoint accuracy. Without any, help from, other devices. But it's amazing how people fell for this. Like, we all fell for it, right? You can see the I don't know, maybe this was based on somewhere, but you can see the meltification. Look at the rocks, right? They tell you they put it embedded, the rocks. The rocks, they put this on top of the rocks like this. But the rocks are the structures, right? This whole world is like this, right? And one thing to note, none of these movies ever talk about how they built these structures, right? They never talk about how they built these structures. Because you know why? But this would take 100 years to build this. With those supposed technology to tell us that they had, like a force and buggy technology. Do you know how long they would take to build this structure? Right? Just one. But they tell us they built it all over the world. Right? No one thinks about that, right? They just think, the history books tell you, oh, the British, the Dutch, the French came in, built these, built a fortress, for fighting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? They never tell you about building this stuff. You'll never see a movie about building that because it will take hundreds of years, in which will screw up the timeline, their timeline, right? If these guys were, so busy building this stuff, then how do they have time building, going to wars with other countries, right, all over the world? That's another BS thing. These ships are going all over the world. Utter BS. You think about today's cruise ships, right? Today's cruise ships, they take thousands of people, right? But it requires so much resources, right? The fuel, the food, right? Just to maintain that thing, maintain the people, right? But yeah, they tell you these wooden cruise ships, they had maybe 100 people, and they cruise around the world. So where did they put, keep all the food, right? On these ships, right? Where the toilet facilities, et cetera, right? Just to, it's all BS, folks. No one thinks about it. No one thinks about it. They just, they just take whatever the history books tell you, right? History books are a lie, folks. Everything tell you is a lie. Just explaining away the structure, right? The stars in our sky, that's the structure of the dome, right? So what did they do? They made up the lie about fake space travel, galaxies, stars, right? To explain away the dome, right? Then they use history to explain away the structures on the ground, right? So start thinking about that, folks. You've been lied to, right, from kindergarten. The minute you get into school, they start lying to you. Even before that, watching TV is a lie.